In the spring of 2015, we found out that we were going to have a little girl. And after 2 little boys, we were so excited about having a daughter. And the first day that we knew it was going to be a girl, I went dress shopping and bought her all kinds of frilly little things, and we could not wait for her to get here. So on August 29th, 2015, she arrived just a little bit early and just over 7 pounds, and we were immediately in love. We brought her home and everyone told us she was perfectly healthy. The doctors and nurses had fallen in love with her. She had all of her regular checkups over the next couple of months. And when she was about 4 months old, the conversation started with our doctor that there was a potential that she had an extra chromosome, and he thought that maybe she had mosaicism, which is a form of Down syndrome. And so he ordered some blood work for her. And we had several days of waiting to find out whether or not our daughter had mosaicism. And in that waiting time, we were so scared. And David would just hold me while I cried, and he would remind me from the very first day, he reminded me, no matter what the outcome of her blood work, she is exactly who God made her to be. We went into the doctor's office that day, and he told us that she did have Down syndrome, and that was really upsetting that day. And we continued to live with a lot of fear and questions and sadness and grieving of plans that we had had for our daughter. But we just continued to feel so much peace and so much assurance that we were not alone, that God had walked this story out, and now he was just carrying us through.
God is completely sovereign, and we had all of these plans, and through this process we were reminded, no matter what plans we're making, we're not in control. God is in control. He has his own plans, and it was just amazing to kind of come into line with that and be reminded of that.
We were able to talk to our kids about it, and it was such a great teaching time with them to talk to them about how we're all made in God's image, and he's designed us with a purpose and a plan. And we talked to them honestly about our fears and questions about Down syndrome, but how that we as a family were going to encourage Aubrey in every way that we could. So one of the ways that we were really intentional about choosing joy from the start is we went to Chick-fil-A and we got some cookies, some chocolate chip cookies, just to boost our spirits. And we have ever since used that as kind of our thing that we go do when Aubrey reaches a special milestone, or when we feel that we want to celebrate her in a little bit of an extra special way. Our kids have loved that, and it's been such a special thing for us over the past few years. We also do it every year on January 15th. We call that Aubrey Day in our house. That is the date that we received the news of her diagnosis, and we have chosen to use that day as a day to celebrate her, to celebrate the ability to choose joy even in our hard moments. And we've invited other people to do that with us too. For the past several years, I have been blogging. My blog is called This Little Home of Mine. And I initially set that blog up as a space to share recipes and home organizing tips and inspiration for other homeschooling families. But ever since Aubrey became part of our story, it has been such a fantastic outlet for inviting others into our story and sharing with them all the ways that God has gifted our family with peace and joy. And from the beginning, we determined that we would not waste our story. Any chance that we had to use our story to point other people to Jesus, that's what we wanted to do.
We are so grateful at this point for having Aubrey as part of our story, and we're looking forward to all the different ways that God's going to work in our child's life.